Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week I try to bring people from across the country to talk to me about things we can do right here in New Mexico. On this week's show, we got this.
I was a teenager when I went to my first Paralympic Games, and I feel like I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
And then once the egg is set, bring it in on itself to create a little bit of a little egg nest per se.
Now through August, participating Circle K stores are offering Polar Pop and frosters of any size up to 44 ounces for just 79 cents.
All that and more right here on New Mexico Rising. You know, Americans love eggs. The average person consumes about 285 eggs per year. While there are many ways to enjoy them, sunny side up, boiled, poached, over easy, medium, and hard. Ask almost anybody, and their first choice will probably be scrambled, and yeah, it's mine too. In anticipation of National Egg Day on June 3rd, Australian chef and culinary director of Two Hands Hospitality, Barney Hannigan, is joining us to share his technique for restaurant-quality soft ribbon eggs in a dish that puts a delicious spin on a family favorite. Welcome to the show, Chef Hannigan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I always overcook my eggs, so I desperately need your help on this one.
Yep.
Is there like an art to make perfect eggs? Okay, what's the step that I'm missing, all right?
Yeah, so we don't want to overcook our eggs. So, you know, starting off with high quality ingredients are always kind of the foundation of our, you know, menu items at the restaurant. Pasture raised eggs is always key for us. A really good quality non-stick pan. And, you know, a lot of patience. If you're burning your eggs, then you're probably trying to go too quick. So just kind of like, you know, feeling it out to get those perfect ribbons.
So, okay, it says you've perfected the technique for making soft ribbon scrambled eggs. First, what is a soft ribbon scrambled egg? And can you demonstrate how that's done?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, the soft ribbon is more of the like the textural effect that you get while you're cooking the scrambled egg, and you're going to get that from you know, blending your eggs with a stick blender is really important, but then also straining it through a fine mesh strainer just really ensures that the cell structure of the scrambled eggs is the egg mix is completely broken. So that'll give you the ability to get perfect ribbons going through the egg as you're cooking it in the pan. You know, also having everything ready, you know, if you're doing a composed dish like we do at Two Hands for our seasonal scrambled, having the macadamia nut pesto ready, getting your feta and your fresh peas shelled for your salad, getting all those things ready, you know, prior to cooking your eggs. Getting your eggs over getting your pan over a medium-high heat, you know, adding in your olive oil into the pan, and then, you know, hitting that with the scrambled egg mix is really important. And, you know, get a little bit of salt in there, season it up, get that pan moving around. This is where the patience comes into play. You really want to make sure that you're allowing that egg to kind of cook evenly, you know, bring it around the pan, bring it in from the sides, you know, pull it back on itself to kind of create a bit of a bow tie. And then once the egg is set, bring it in on itself to create a little bit of a little egg nest per se.
That looks like a little egg flower. That's nice. I like that. All right.
Yeah, well, a little rose. We call them roses as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Eggs aren't the same. So what are your preferences when it comes to like choosing eggs and why?
Yeah, so at Two Hands, we're committed to sourcing from purveyors whose values, you know, really align with ours, which is why we've teamed up with Vital Farms as our exclusive egg provider at all of our restaurants. You know, they source from family farms. The hens' welfare is really important, as well as that sustainable agriculture component, and that really just aligns with Two Hands and what we do with our food menus overall.
And there's also like different labels like cage-free, pasture-raised, etc. What should we look for the next time we're shopping for eggs?
Yeah, so it can get very confusing. You know, you're going to want to look for a pasture-raised, you know, labeled egg. it just really ensures that, the hens have access to roam around freely, scratch in the soil and lay their eggs as they see fit, and just really that that humane kind of outside fresh air, sunshine is really what makes it important to look for that pasture raised label.
All right, man. I think I've learned something today. You got to beat it, you got to strain it, you got to put it in the pan, move it around a bit. Make sure you make that bow tie, and then turn it into a rose, and you got yourself some quality eggs. Am I right?
That's exactly right. Exactly.
All
and
right.
you can get the recipe for today as well off the Vital Farms website. It's in their Vital Kitchen blog. And you can also try this dish on the menu at our restaurants through the season of spring and summer.
Chef Barney Hannigan, thanks for joining me this morning, my friend.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Team USA is headed back to the world stage. And as we near the opening ceremonies for the Olympic and Paralympic Summer Games in Paris for 2024, and while the world's excitement is kind of building, the athletes are full on training. And I have two of the fabulous athletes joining me today. One of them is a legend and the other a newcomer, but they're both ready to take on the world in the Paralympic Summer Games. We got Jessica Long and Haven Shepard, who are with us live from the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. How you two doing, my friends?
I'm great.
We're doing great.
All right, so we're all kind of excited to tune in the action that's going on in Paris and cheer on, Team USA. But you got to tell us a little bit about your training schedule in these final couple of months gearing up to it.
Oh my goodness, yes, this is definitely a very exciting time as we gear up. Well, we actually have trials next month and then hopefully Paris. I am aiming for my 6th Paralympic Games. So right now training, I live out here at the Olympic and Paralympic Training Center. So lots of swimming, PT, massage, yoga, Pilates, weightlifting, you name it. I feel like I'm doing it. But I am super excited to hopefully represent Team USA for another Paralympics.
Yeah, my routine looks a little different. I don't live here at the training center with all the facilities. I live on my own and I am constantly on the go. I'm constantly going to PT, cupping, swim practice, weight training, you name it. But it's chaotic, but I think we both equally enjoy the chaos.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to be calling you out like this, but I see that we have a little bit of a legend versus newcomer situation with you two.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how you're celebrating that, or how we could all get a piece of our own medal this summer?
Yeah, Reese's has come out with its very first summer shape, and this campaign is embodying our friendship. I feel like it's not so much like a versus each other. I feel like it's so much more full circle of, the life that we've lived together, basically. Jessica met me when I was 11 years old and she was 21 and I'm 21 now. And so Jessica has basically seen me grow up. She's seen me through some terrible teenager years and to my young adult years to me now. And I feel like it's grown so much of like big sis, little sis to, I can come to you for swimming advice, doing media stuff and like navigating, professional sports. And this campaign has totally brought Paralympics forefront and showing, that there is so much like support. And that's the thing about the Paralympics. Everybody has a story. Everybody has their own story, and having, how they got to professional sport as a person with a disability.
And Jessica, you're the second most decorated Paralympian in U.S. history. And Haven, you're the newcomer. So someone that we're all going to be keeping our eyes on. What's keeping you two motivated, and what are you looking to prove when you guys are in the pool?
What's keeping me motivated is I was a teenager when I went to my first Paralympic Games, and I feel like I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I got to look to Jessica, but she obviously had to go off and win all her medals. And so I feel like going into these next games in Paris is going to be a really fulfilling time, a really joyous time. I feel like Tokyo put a lot of its own obstacles on us. And so getting to do this campaign with Reese's and, getting to go into this next chapter of trials in in Paris with so much joy and, excitement for the Paralympics. I mean, we're front and center. You can get a Reese's Summer Shape in stores, and it has the Paralympic logo, and that represents us. Yeah.
All right, now I got to find out, are you down with the newcomer, which is the new medal shape, or the classic cup shape? You got to tell me. I got to find out. What are your choices? What do you got?
I mean, I love the legend, but the newcomers, I like medals too.
Yeah, everybody loves medal. Everybody come get my newcomer shape. It's so much better.
Oh my God. But I'm like the original. Like, yeah.
All right, I didn't mean to put you guys up against each other like that, but hey, I'm always a fan of the Reese's shapes. Anytime you give me those, I don't even look at the shape. I just pop them in and I'm ready to go. All right, finally, where can we go for more information on any of this, my friend?
You can go to Hersheyland.com and you can go get your new Summer Shape Reese's at stores nationwide.
Haven Shepherd, Jessica Long, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A surprising new survey reveals 1 in 4 women over 50 have never heard of aortic stenosis, a serious heart condition. And here to discuss this alarming statistic and implications is Dr. Roxana Mehran, a leading cardiologist and advocate for women's health. Welcome to the show, Dr. Mehran. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Can you tell us more about the underrepresentation of women in clinical trials?
It's a really, really important issue that everyone should be aware of. Not only are women undertreated, underrecognized, and underappreciated, they're also underrepresented in our clinical trials that tests different devices and different drugs for treatment of heart disease specifically, but also other conditions. But we know a lot about heart disease.
Can you talk about the new research on women and heart valve disease?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, heart disease continues to be the #1 cause of death in all women across the globe and also in the United States. The number of women dying of heart disease continues to be at the highest level, and we're not making the impact we absolutely need. We believe some of this has to do with the underdiagnosis and undertreatment, especially of a condition called aortic stenosis. This is a common condition in women because as we age, the aortic valve, which is a very important valve in our heart, can thicken and not open very well. And that could cause sudden death. Not treating it, most of these women are dead in the next 2 years after the symptoms are developed.
So what are some of the warning signs for heart disease like aortic stenosis?
Well, in women over the age of 50 or 60, for sure, if they develop shortness of breath, chest pain, dizziness, or passing out for no reason at all, it's really important to get checked. Especially if you're feeling exhausted and not able to do what you were doing before. You need to be checked by your doctor, who often should be listening to your heart, but very importantly, the test to get is an ultrasound of the heart or an echocardiogram that can show and diagnose aortic stenosis 100% of the time.
Dr. Mehran, where can we go for more information and learn more about this?
Well, there's a fantastic website called myinteractiveasjourney.com. That's aortic stenosis, asjourney.com. Go there. You'll get all the information you need. We have a lot of evidence that the minimally invasive TAVR procedure for aortic stenosis is very, very safe and effective. So you don't have to go through open heart surgery. But much more important, we now know which valve you should be receiving, especially for women.
Dr. Mehran, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We all know the signs of a heart attack, the pain in the chest and arm. But what is a foot attack? It's when arteries in the lower limbs get clogged with plaque, preventing blood flow and oxygen from reaching the lower leg and foot. It's painful, it's dangerous, and it's caused by the most prevalent disease you've probably never even heard of, peripheral artery disease, or PAD. So today we have Dr. Sahil Parikh of Columbia University, Irving Medical Center, and Dr. Jennifer Jones-McMeans, Divisional Vice President of Global Clinical Affairs at Abbott's Vascular Business. They're here to join us to kind of help explain what PAD is and discuss Abbott's first of its kind dissolvable stent. So let's welcome to the show. Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
All right, Dr. Parikh, tell us a little more about peripheral artery disease and how prevalent is it?
Yeah, so peripheral artery disease is one of the most common disorders that you've never heard of, as you pointed out. About 1 in 10 Americans, or 40 million Americans, will eventually be diagnosed with this disease. And it's really, as you pointed out, the blockages of the circulation to the legs. You've heard about coronary artery disease, which is the blockages to the heart when a patient gets a heart attack. Well, when you have blockages to the legs, you can get a leg or a foot attack. And that's when the circulation is so severely compromised that patients can develop wounds, which can lead to amputation.
And so what are the symptoms and how dangerous is it?
Yeah, so the symptoms usually begin gradually. Most patients, as they get older especially, will start describing that they have pain in their legs or cramping in their legs when they walk. Those symptoms can worsen and they can develop pain at rest when they're just sitting there. And eventually wounds can develop because of insufficient blood flow. And when that happens, really the risk of amputation goes way up. And so the symptom severity is quite broad, but once people develop wounds, that's really when we need to start taking this very, very seriously.
And Dr. Jones-McMeans, can you tell us about Abbott's new dissolvable stent and why this matters for people living with peripheral artery disease?
Yes, Abbott is really proud to introduce and get the approval of the Artery BTK system, new dissolving stent, first of its kind. Currently, physicians like Dr. Parikh have limited options, and one of the procedures that they use to treat these blockages is what's called balloon angioplasty, and it's simply a balloon that is used to push the plaque back to regain blood flow. However, this is really not a sustainable treatment. And what happens over time is that that artery closes up again, and you're ending up back in the situation of having those foot attacks or leg attacks. And so what Artery does is actually, when it's delivered to the blockage is pushed aside. The Artery actually has a drug. This drug is very important because this drug is going to prevent the blood vessel or the artery from closing up again. But also the Artery itself helps the artery stay open, but it only does this for a period of time because the artery really does not need the scaffold or the stent to keep the artery open for over a long period of time. So approximately after 3 years, the Artery goes away, it dissolves. The drug has done its work in the beginnings of when it's delivered, and blood flow is restored. And so what we did find in the trial that was called Life BTK is that there was a 30% improvement in keeping this blood vessel open with the Artery BTK versus the balloon angioplasty or the standard balloon.
And Dr. Parikh, what should people do if they think they might have peripheral artery disease?
They first have to recognize that it's a problem. A lot of people blow it off and say that their legs are bothering them just because they're getting older. But really, there's something going on with their circulation, and they should get their legs checked. They should have their pulses examined, and there's very simple tests like ultrasounds that can be done to identify whether the blockages exist. And then the treatment includes medications, lifestyle changes, and exercise programs. And when the circulation is bad enough, we need to open these blockages to restore the blood flow.
Thank you, too, for joining me this morning. Where can we go for more information about this?
If people are interested, they can go to abbott.com, or they can also go to pad-info.com.
Thanks again for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When planning a vacation, it's important to travel smart and choose an epic destination. So here to help is travel journalist and your bucket list guide, Justin Walter. He's host of a popular travel series Around the World in 80 Seconds and co-host of NBC Peacock's Global Child. Shows that pretty much take viewers on amazing adventures to interesting and exotic places. Welcome to the show, Justin. How are you, my friend?
Good, Dan. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so what is your secret for planning, epic adventures?
Yeah, in all of my shows and whenever I travel, the most important thing to me is connecting to a destination, an experience, a cultural experience, whatever it is. My goal is to take my audiences to a destination and have them learn what's special about it to hopefully inspire people to explore. And today, I'm here to chat with you, Dan, about summer travel tips to take the hassle out of travel.
Let's get to it. Where do you recommend we go this summer?
Yeah, so I'm currently on a 6-month trip around the world, and I have to tell you, one of my favorite destinations still to this day that I will keep going back to is Portland, Oregon. I absolutely love this city, and you'll see some video from my recent trip there, that Portland is the perfect base camp, whether you're there traveling solo or with friends or family members. The city has great walkable neighborhoods, amazing natural beauty, including spectacular waterfalls, over 100 miles of hiking and biking trails like you can see here. That's actually within the city. One of the best parts of Portland is the delicious food. The diverse culinary scene there is incredible, with James Beard award-winning restaurants, unique food trucks, breweries. It is a delicious treat to go to Portland, and I highly recommend it this summer.
Portland is awesome. It has great weather pretty much year-round, so it's amazing. All right, if we're going to Portland, do you have any advice for like choosing that spot that we could stay?
Yeah, you know, pack up the car, go on a road trip this summer. I also think that a brand hotel that you love and is comfortable is important. I love Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. I actually just stayed at one in Quito, Ecuador, on my way to the Galapagos Islands. I'm a big fan of Wyndham Hotels and Resorts because Wyndham offers thousands of hotels across the country at affordable price points. There's brands like Microtel, Days Inn, Super 8, and La Quinta. And when you join the award-winning Wyndham's Rewards program, you can earn a free night for every 4 nights you stay this summer. So you can earn up to 2 free nights. And you can find out more at wyndhamhotels.com.
When you're trying to travel, how important is it really to have a budget, or should you just say, whatever happens, happens?
No, I don't think that's a good thing to do. So traveling and budgeting is super important, and there are some great ways that tech is making travel budgeting easier, like Spruce, an all-in-one mobile banking app built by H&R Block to help you take control of your finances. It's designed to take the worry out of summer vacation planning with budgeting tools that help make the most of your spending and saving. Spruce has no monthly fees or minimum balances required. And if you're looking for a high-yield interest rate, Spruce Savings has a 3.50% APY after opting in. I also love that Spruce offers cashback rewards from participating stores. So head over to sprucemoney.com to sign up today.
Do you have any other travel trips or tips?
Yeah, I do. You know, take those trips, and here's some tips. When you're taking the trip, it is so important to make sure that your home is safe. And that's why I am so excited to experience the integration of smart lighting and smart home security with Philips Hue Secure. Known for its premium smart lighting, the company has recently integrated smart home security with brand new cameras and app features. So no matter where you are in the world, Philips Hue Secure allows you to keep an eye on your home in real time, getting immediate motion alerts. You can also activate light and sound alarms and manage your system easily from your home, from your phone. So you're watching your home from your phone.
So where can we go for more information, my friend?
You can go to tipsontv.com for all the information.
And where can we follow you on social media and keep track of all your shows and all the projects you're working on?
Yeah, my social media handle is @YourBucketListGuide, and you can follow me there.
Justin Walter, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
The recipe for a fantastic summer or Memorial Day party is usually great food and fun. So joining us today with some tasty tips is Food Network star Chef James Briscione. Chef Briscione is a multiple winner on Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, as well as a cookbook author and restaurant owner. So let's welcome to the show, Chef Briscione. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Thank you, Dan. How's it going over there?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
So what is it about summer that usually just gets everyone excited?
Listen, you're talking to a chef, so you know I'm going to say food, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, but I do get excited about food. That's how I became the first ever 2-time Chopped champion. That's how I beat Bobby Flay, because food gets me excited. And we are officially into summer now. You know, the weather's warm, kids are out of school, so it's time to get some great food, get together with friends and family, and enjoy this summer.
So what's your best, chef tip for this summer?
Yeah, you've got to get plenty of protein all summer long. It's really super important. And one of my favorite ways to do that is with a high protein smoothie bowl. We're making this with IsoPure zero carb protein powder. It blends effortlessly with your favorite foods, adding a protein boost without compromising the authentic flavor of the dish. And this summer protein smoothie bowl recipe is so easy to make. We're blending frozen mangoes, strawberries, raspberries with almond milk and IsoPure's unflavored or creamy vanilla zero carb protein powder, which has 25 grams of protein in each scoop. You serve it up with your favorite toppings, and it's the ultimate refreshing, high-protein treat. You can check out theisopurecompany.com to see all their flavors.
Can you tell us a favorite summer obsession?
Yeah, it's right here. You're going to love this. Zespri Sun Gold Kiwi Fruit. It's the perfect, juicy, and refreshing snack because these kiwis are grown for taste. They're sweet, refreshing, and juicy. Perfect thing on a hot day, and they're incredibly versatile. I love them on their own or chopped up in a salsa. You can put them in a sweet fruit tart. Plus, they're packed with nutrition. More than 20 vitamins and minerals and 100% of your daily vitamin C. You can check out Zespri.com to learn more about their obsession with growing the best tasting kiwis and where you can find some near you. They're available at most retailers and at Instacart.
All right, so we're out in the desert. What's your go-to suggestion for cooling off?
Hey, listen, I'm on the Gulf Coast where we get pretty warm there too. And when we're driving around in the summer, my favorite stop, a little treat for the kids, we're popping into Circle K. They've become America's thirst stop, in part because of their delicious Polar Pop and Froster offerings. And they've got a special deal going this summer. Now through August, participating Circle K stores are offering Polar Pop and Frosters of any size up to 44 ounces for just 79 cents. Plus, if you join their membership program, Inner Circle, you get additional savings on thousands of beverages at over 6,000 locations. So I recommend you stay refreshed and hydrated this summer with Circle K.
That's a great price for some Polar Pop. I'm in. All right. Do you have any other suggestions?
I do, right? It's summertime, so you know we got to fire up the grill, right? And when I'm doing that, I'm going to my cookbook, my favorite cookbook, of course, because I wrote the thing, The Flavor Matrix. It's all about the science of flavor and what makes food delicious. We've got some great recipes in there, like these bacon and watercress grilled oysters. They're kind of like a simplified and elevated version of Rockefeller, and a coffee-rubbed pork tenderloin with peaches, the perfect summer flavors. You know, you can really impress people at your summer cookout. You pull out a few of these recipes, they're gonna think you're a pro who really knows what they're doing and taking that grilling up to the next level.
I'm great at eating great foods and watching other people make great foods. Not really great at making it myself, but...
Hey, Flavor Metric makes a great gift then. All those people who make the great food for you, hook them up.
There you go. So where can we go for more information, Chef?
Go to tipsontv.com for more information about everything we talked about here today.
Chef Briscione, thanks for joining me this morning.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
And that's it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you for tuning in, checking out the show. If you want to be on the show, just email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. Until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.